Hello and welcome to PM Personality Profile. My name is Nana Ansakwa, and today I bring you a story, a perfect story of rags to riches. A little boy who was denied, rejected, never even had a father figure to grow up with, came to the streets of Accra, slept rough and hustled. But somewhere along the line, he changed his story. And today he has built this edifice and has vowed that every child who hasn't got the opportunity, his doors are open, his arms are open. He doesn't want anybody to go through the same plight. Abbeam Ampomah Danso has made this story a perfect one. And when we come back from the break, I'm going to have a sit down with him and have a beautiful conversation. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. As I've already told you, it's personality profile. Now, with personality profile, the whole idea is to talk to people whose story will inspire a difference positively in all of us. Now, I was expecting to meet a very old man, probably 68, 72. The name itself is very old, Abbeam Ampomah Danso. And you go through the profile and there's a catalog of he did this and he did that and this. I'm thinking, yeah, this must be an old man. And to my surprise, it's my own young brother. Abbeam.
Yes, sir.
Now, I am pleasantly surprised. I am a little bit taken aback, lost for words, but positively. You see, because all too often when you hear a good story that is worth emulating, it's normally from people who have been there, done that, and are on pension, and they're now telling you their story. I find that the youth connect more if the face is like this. I'm thinking, then it's not too far-fetched. It's within my era, and that I can do it. And that's why I'm here to talk to you. I find your story fascinating, and I hope my viewers are also going to find this story really, really amazing. But I'm going to go all the way back to Kumawu, so we start fresh. I mean, that's where you come from.
Yes, Nana.
I'm born in Kumawu.
Yes, Nana.
But you didn't grow up in Kumawu, or?
I grew up in various places. First of all, was Kumawu up to 5 years. Moved to Oyoko, and then to Kumasi, back to Kumawu, and then to Volta region.
So basically all over the place.
Yes, sir.
So then I'm going to go back to your accident because I find it really amazing. What happened? You were eating and you swallowed a bone?
Yes. I think I was about 2 years, and one of my aunties cooked and gave my mom a food. When you are in the village, when everybody cooks, they share among ourselves. Which these times we don't see, but we share among ourselves. So my mom happened to give me the food to eat, and lo and behold, I swallowed a bone, and then the bone choked my throat.
Because I can literally see a scar.
Is there, yeah. So I was just coughing blood and everything, and they end up trying to take me to hospital, taking me to churches, juju, everywhere just to save me. And eventually they gave up that maybe I would die or anything like that. So the bone stayed with me for almost about 4 years. Wow. And I'm telling you, it's end up now. I swallowed, it swelled, and also, it became like a boil.
Okay.
So it burst, and then water was coming out, and they could see a hole in there, and eventually every day hole, and I wasn't able to eat. It's just only when they want to give me food to eat, when I'm swallowing, it will be so hard. So they put, they give me cocoa, porridge, and they'll make it so light. So saliva will come out of my mouth and all that stuff. So nobody I've received reject because and everybody was afraid that I'm going to die. And
so how were you able to talk then? With that?
I wasn't talking. Until the bones went off before I was able to talk, and I was always rejected. Because if you touch me and I'm trying to express myself through crying, I will go into convulsion, and so I'll pass out. And so everybody was afraid of getting closer to me. So that made me to see a serious rejection. If my mom is going somewhere, they'll say, take your son, that sort of thing. But eventually, up to that 4 years struggle, which my mom, you saw my mom before,
of course,
and she was actually, trying to say, remind me.
So then this would either delay or hinder you going into school, because if your colleagues are not, if you're not talking, they're not going to take you to school.
Of course. I mean, but even after all these bones issues is gone, I end up going to school even early, because as soon as it was gone, my grandfather is a king up to now at this time from Oyoko and also Koforidua. Akona and so he was also what do you call it, a headmaster, and so therefore as for his children, he would like you to go to school and everything, but had a lot of children, so I was a grandson, and so I'll be the least to be cared for, and I went to school at that time, but being in a village, you can finish school without knowing how to write your name. And that's what sort of thing I went through. I finished school. I'm from a royal home, but at the end of the day, royals without money, as you can attest, some royals don't even have money. It's just only a few of them. So I end up, finishing school they didn't care, because they know one day I'm going to be like, one of my uncles. So, I finished school, but I was not able to actually write my name. And I quite remember there was my great grandmother who was called Nanata. When these people were always saying that this one, you amount to nothing, she always said to me, you know what, I have to change your name. Although I was called Nana Yao or Yao Danso, this woman will call me Kwame Adane, and I'll ask her, why do you call me that name? He said, you know what, they don't know who you are. A time will come, you change. So you are Kwame. Kwame means God. Adane means you will change. So the woman was telling, believe that, and as soon as you finish school, get off this place.
It's a prophecy.
So I had to get off from Kumawu when I finished school to come to Volta region.
So you did up to JSS in Kumawu?
Yes, sir.
And then moved to Volta region?
Yes, sir.
But then your mom was in Kumawu?
Yes, sir.
So who's looking after you now in Volta region?
It was my auntie who was working with the prisons.
Okay.
He was an warder, and you can see warders. The sort of payment they get in terms of when you are an warder. Poor woman, struggling, and I give her the tribute that she did well for me, but she was poor. And also she had responsibility, and she was a single mother. So I end up selling ice cream cake with barefooted, not working, not wearing a shoe or anything like that.
That's in Volta region.
In Volta region.
Wow.
And being an Ashanti man in Volta region, there's racism in this country. Tribalism, let me say it this way. And I'm telling you, they will call it Ebluvi. And they'll be singing the song Ebluvi and all that sort of thing. So
what's the meaning of Ebluvi?
Ebluvi means opportunity, like
a foreigner.
A foreigner. And but I had to leave with that sort of. They will call you, somebody will just hit you because you are Ebluvi. So it's actually opened my eyes to know different cultures in this country. That, listen, we may think we are all Ghanaians, but it's not like that. Like when we go to Ashanti and you see the Northness and Tafo, it changed my concept of knowing that everybody is one. So although I was young, I was learning all these things. But I struggled there because I was selling ice kenke. And my ice kenke is what we use to feed ourselves in the house. And my auntie was very hard worker. But before she would finish, a month will come. Her money is already finished, So, I mean, we struggled in Volta region.
So what do you do? Do you, your auntie makes the ice kenke for you, or by this time you know how to make
it got to a time I knew how to do it. My mom didn't have a lot of, he didn't have daughters. And I was the firstborn. My auntie also, it took a long time for her to give birth to my cousin Abigail. So I was like a woman, in disguise. And so you have to learn everything, how to cook, how to do everything, how to wash and everything. So I was like that.
Let me interrupt, because you have 11 siblings.
Yes, sir.
From the same mother?
The same mother. Not the same fathers, though.
I think I'll get a chance to put Mom on the camera. Because she looks like she's 18 years old. I don't know how she can have 11 siblings, but...
It's amazing.
Yes, it is very amazing.
There are some women, when a man, wee on the floor and they pass, they end up getting pregnant.
Okay. So, and you're the eldest of 11?
Yes, sir.
Wow,
yes,
that's
sir.
A huge responsibility.
It's a tax. It's a responsibility. And one thing I saw my mom, because I grew up with her, she being a teenager, she gave birth to me when she was about 16. So I have seen her, and she being a woman who have not, attained school, academia well. So you can see that she was not exposed to the world, so therefore her knowledge was a little bit down. I saw her doing all kinds of businesses, all kinds of jobs to try to, bring us up. And it happened that all the fathers that we happened to meet, all the stepfathers and that's why I say fathers. They were all irresponsible. And as I've grown, I realized that it might not be irresponsibility. It's basically might be that they were poor, and because of pride, they couldn't, express themselves well. That we don't have money, I don't have money, so therefore, please let's eat the little that we have. So some of them ran from my mom. So it happened to be that only her raising all these children, so it was tough.
Did your younger siblings do better in school than you did, or did they have the same struggle?
I would say only one that did very well. The one I come before,
comes after you.
Yeah, after me. He did well, but at that time there wasn't any money. For now, I've come to pick most of them. Right now, I have two in London with me, and they are really doing well. One of them is doing more of editing and animation and all that stuff. She's very, very good. Okay. He is very good, and the other one is also singing. And all of them, I have decided, I've made sure they will finish their education. So now they are all into the university level. So what I couldn't get, I want them to get it. So a few of them also, because they are from another father, and the laws of this country. Some of them needs to give their will that we want you to take care of us. One of them have become a pastor as well, and one of them is also doing his own business. So for now, they are all doing their best. Okay,
that's good. So let's go back to ice kenke in Volta region. So because of all this, you now can make your own ice kenke and then go and sell it.
Of course. I can do my own ice kenke. And it was quite interesting. That time I saw it as opportunity. From the village coming to a region, it was a great place, Volta region, and meeting different peoples, at least seeing what do I call it? Traffic light. And in Kumawu, we didn't have traffic lights. So at least that tells me that I've moved to the next level. So selling ice kenke was a joyous moment, and I learned so much. I learned a lot in that particular time. And we moved, I moved back into Accra. Mm-hmm. And you know what?
So how long did you stay in Volta region before you came to Accra?
I stayed in Volta region almost about 2 years. And moving to Accra, my vision was to sell fine ice. I hope I'm not doing advert for them. To sell fine ice or yogurt and all that stuff. It was at least if I get there, I'm on top. But it didn't happen. And I wished I would have sold ice water. As long as I'm living in Accra. Mm-hmm. But I didn't get that opportunity as well. Now,
you see, you were not big framed.
Yes.
So I can imagine at the time you were amongst your peers, you must have been very, very small and probably had to do twice as much to fit in.
You see, that's the thing. To be honest with you, when you are slim, even at this time, I go to certain places and mostly, I don't want to say I'm humble. I always say I'm proud, But when I get to some places and I humble myself to the person, so please, I want this or that. They look at the way you are and they judge you. So after you're gone and they hear that, oh, this is this person, then there's, oh no. So a lot of people mess up when they meet me. So you can imagine that particular time. Mm-hmm. I'm now big, That time I was so slim, and I quite remember one time when I came to Accra, I was trying to go and doing kayayu, kayanu. Mm-hmm. So I was rushing. I was in Kaneshi Market, rushing to go and carry when the car is coming. You rush. And when you get there first, then you pick your, the load, and then the women will say, okay, let's go to this side. I got to the place, I was the first person to be there. I carried the load. This woman just came out of the car. You mad boy, get out of this place. What are you doing here? Boy, come and carry this one. And all of a sudden, my face dropped because of my dressing, and my slimness. The woman looked at me as I'm mad. Wow. So that thing actually worked on me so much. So mostly what I used to do when I smoke weed, and I think I'm on top. So if you meet me, you hit me, I hit you. I have a lot of scars. You bring knife, I'll face you, because I realize I don't have an uncle that will fight for me, no brothers or anything like that. So I was more of tiger, but also slow to speak. I was also, bringing peace. Let's bring peace. Mm-hmm. And I was always trying to be a father. So if I see that you're bullying somebody, I don't care how big you are, beat me. You kill me for the person to be saved. So that was the sort of person I was. So you can understand that it was a hustle.
Wow.
A serious hustle. Somebody will beat you up and your face will be somewhere. I remember somebody came to me and said, bring me your money, give me your money. And they were holding guns, and I could see a policeman standing there, and he did nothing, because I don't know, these guys were holding a gun and a knife. They said, if you don't give us all your money, we'll beat you up. And I was a hustler, so I had to give them all my money, and they slapped me here and there. The policeman was there watching me, nothing was happening. Wow. So those people became mentors, because we thought, okay, if you get closer with them, you can also beat somebody and do something. But there was Christ in me, those times I believe in God, not believing in God like the way some people believe.
Let me take you back a bit. Did you come from Volta region straight to Kaneshi, or you came to family and then ended up there?
I came to family.
Okay.
When I remember when I was in Volta region, it was my auntie. The secret is what I'm saying to you. But most of the family doesn't know, because one of my auntie, up to now, she has never forgiven me that why would I leave her selling the ice cream and go to Accra. It was one of my aunties that came to Volta region to, visitors there. And then I was speaking to her, and the hustle I was going through, so she said to me, Accra will be better, so you come there, because she was there. So when I got to the place, thinking, she will help me. But you see, in terms of when somebody gets married, sometimes, raising families are very hard. And I believe that they were good people, but situations can make somebody make decisions. They tried to help me by giving me to some people.
Hold it. I'll take a break here now. I want to find out. So the auntie comes to Volta region, coaxes you to come to Accra, and that's the story. Before you end up, if you want to find out what happened between the auntie and Kanishi, we're coming straight back. Well, it's getting interesting. So Abbeam is living in Volta region. Auntie comes over and says, look, you'd be better off in Accra. And what young hustler won't take up that bait? Of course, you're coming thinking that she's going to look after you. But you're saying because of circumstances, she wasn't able to probably,
to do so.
Do so.
Yeah, the more I'm growing, I'm getting understanding. I've realized that in this life, when you have understanding, it helps you to live peacefully, because I didn't understood them in that particular time, thinking, oh, these people are wicked people. She told me to come to Accra, and she's not doing anything. But I realized that she did something. What she did was giving me to there was a prison warder, which was
another prison warder.
Another prison warder. I've been in quarters so much. Another prison warder, which it happens to be my auntie's husband's brother.
Okay.
So it was a family kind of thing, and it took me to Volta region, and they took me to Sotium, and that time, that was when they now had the name called Sotium. It was because there was junk of these armed robbers there. They rob, and if you remember Ninjas.
Yes.
Those people were at that place. You see Langards and all those stuff. They were very scary place. But I was there with one woman, trying to take care of the areas and everything. And it wasn't good at all. I remember one time, they just, early in the morning, they took me out of the place. And I quite remember what they said was, I have stolen something. That's why they are bringing me there. And they didn't even give me money for like a transport to go back to my hometown. And they said, I've stolen something.
So that's why they took you to Kanishi?
They took me back to my auntie.
Yes. Okay.
At Dankwa Circle, that I've stolen. And which I was like, what? Because they want to get rid of me. Say I've stolen. And I wasn't like, I haven't stolen. So I don't understand what you're saying. So my auntie also took me again. If I did, I would have said it. My auntie took me to another place. And that place, when I was going, I remember she bought me gari. And when we got to the place, it was Laboni. Inside Laboni, the woman was doing biscuit. So I learned how to do biscuit. And I quite remember when I was doing that thing. As soon as we got to the place, the woman took the gari from me. I never got the gari up to today. And I was starving. So when she saw me at my cousin, Fosti, when she saw me, she said, oh no, you are now too slimmer. So eventually, they had to take me out of the place. I met a white man here, and my auntie, all of them said, that white man will kill me. It was naivety. I think they lack that knowledge. And they said the white man will kill me. So my mom said, if I don't get off from the white man, because I love singing, I used to sing very well. And so the white man wanted, to create sort of a choir, for us to sing. And we go there, we do music and all that stuff. And he said he's going to take me to America and all that stuff. Then I went to tell my auntie, and then a story came from my mother that I should get off the place. If I don't, if she dies, I should not, what not.
So the ultimate threat. Yes, don't come to my funeral.
So at the end of the day, I had to leave there, and then when I moved from there, I now end up in Carnation.
So you hustled in Carnation. I want to find out because your life you're living today and the life you're telling me, it's diametrically opposed. I want to find out the turning point, between hustling in Carnation, being robbed, thinking that maybe even if I rob, I would also survive. Where was the turning point? What was that?
I think the turning point was when this woman told me I'm mad. Because I was eating on the floor, when you see a bread on the gutter, and you just take it and you break where it's soaked and you eat because you don't have money. No one wants you to carry anything. And you're trying to work, do something for your life and nothing is working. And at that moment, I felt like, okay, the best thing to do is to kill yourself. And to be honest, my mom was into Christianity so much, deep in Christianity. I normally call it lack of knowledge. They are into Christianity, believing that poverty is part of Christianity. So, in but she put something in me of the fear of God and also being careful not to kill yourself because you go to hell. And even up to now, one thing I test for, even no matter what if let God takes everything I have and let him take me to heaven. I don't know there yet, but I really want to go to heaven. This thing keeps me, and I believe so. I don't care whether somebody doesn't believe, but I did believe that. So I said to myself, if I kill myself, I'll go to hell straight. So what do? Let me go to a church and fast. As young as I was, 15 years, let me go to church, fast. When I fast there and I die. So I went to church. The first church, I remember, the first church I went, they sacked me. The second one, it was closed. And I happened to be in the church before with Isaac Asando. And he was a musician. So he showed me the place. So I went to that area at North Carnation. So it was United Pentecostal Church. And it was, they were now building it. So I had to, jump into that place. And I stayed there for 21 days, no food. And I was still not dying. But it was actually building.
Completely no food, or you were eating at night?
No food. I used to live without 40 days, no food.
Morning, evening?
Yes, that was my hustle. And you know what? The good thing is that when I had this thing, what do you call it? The bone. It helped me because those times I was not able to eat. So I think maybe God was preparing me for
yourself.
Yes, so that training was there. Even now,
21 days dry,
no food,
but water.
Okay. And even now, I do that most of the time. And so I remember this woman was pounding fufu. And as a strategy I have, I said, if you don't have a work to do, just go and look for some fufu to pound. As you are pounding it, you can say, give me the cassava. So that was my motive. So I got there to help the woman.
But 21 days, did you have the energy to pound fufu?
How do I put it? Life. When life hits you, you will do anything.
Wow.
We have been in a war front. If I say war front, that's why I respect those people who are selling out there. Recently when I came to London, Ghana for the first time, I would take pounds in my pocket and I'll sit in a taxi. And then me and Irene and one of my drivers will sit in the taxi, and I will intentionally be like, I'm going to buy. Then I'll make them run. If he doesn't come, I said, this one is not serious. The one that will run and get close, I'll ask her or him, do you go to church? When the person says yes, I'll ask the person, I don't want to buy it. And I'll see their reaction. Some of them will persuade me to buy. So please, and they will talk. And I said, okay, I want to know if you get a capital, what would you sell? And some of them would tell me, hey, I'll sell this, I'll sell that. And I remember I would take a pound. One lady in, I forgot the area, I think Labadi area. And that lady, I gave her, I think it was 400 pounds. And I gave it to her. He said, no, I don't know this money, I don't want it. I don't want it. so I said, no, please. So no, you want to do me juju? I said, no. I said, take it. Okay, give me your name. Then there was one guy there. Are you mad? Take it. It's Abrafusika. Take it. Then I was just laughing, and then I told the lady, no, I'm a pastor. So you take it. Then she felt good. And then the next time, what she said she would sell. The next time I saw her, she was carrying that load of the things she said she would sell. And then I packed and I said, hey, you. She just came and put the thing somewhere, grabbed me. And she said, give me your number. I want to know where you are. I said, no, you don't need to know.
That's the blessing. Now, I need to know. So, I mean, basically from rags to riches. Where did you get your break? What was the first job that began to give you money? Did you go back to school?
No.
Where did you get your break?
I didn't go back to school because there was no opportunity. But I remember the first time I was serving under this pastor there. She took me as a son, and which I respect that. I happened to go to a place, church goers. Mm-hmm. We fast. I decided to fast once again. I remember it was 21 days again. I fasted 21 days with a brother called Anyedia. And then as we were fasting, I believe in spiritual things. And I remember I saw something, and then the thing told me the name of the brother I'm with. And I thought he was called Ima. And so the thing told me that he's called Kwame Anyedia. And then he said to me, he's going to work at some place. After that, he's going to be a pastor. And then he also didn't know my name because I was called Stephen. So he got the name Yao, Nana Yao. So he said, when I wake up, I said, my brother, I had some weird dream, and the name was this. And he said to me, this person is going to do this. He has a wife, a woman that he wants to marry. Somebody will marry the woman. He shouldn't be worried. I said everything to him. And then he said, me too, I also have a weird dream. But we all didn't mention the names. Mm-hmm. He said, what name was it? Then I mentioned Kwame, and he said, it's me. But me too, I had some name. And then he mentioned us, it's me, oh. I said, okay. So I took that thing as, okay, God is visiting us. How naive I was or whatever it was. Lo and behold, he said, I will get a job. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. He said, I will get a job. It will be a store, a shop. And after getting the shop, I will be a pastor. I said, I want to be a musician, and I'm fighting to be a musician. How can I be a pastor? So I end up going to, Abeka. And I was going to buy something after the fasting. As soon as I got to the place, the woman looked at me and said, Osofo, would you like to have a work? I said, I'm not a pastor. Said, no, you're a pastor. Would you like to work? I said, why not? He said, start today. And the woman was like a woman of God, and she helped me on. She's from Kwawu, and I'm telling you.
And she had a shop?
She had a shop.
Okay.
She helped me in so many ways, taught me how to be humble, how to serve, she didn't have a son, but to be honest, she took me like a son, and even some people were saying that maybe I have something to do with her. And she was older than me, and it was out of love. And the family members, some of them didn't like what she was doing. She loved me. She would give me money. So she showed me what money is. And she told me, never respect money. Never like money. If you get money, give it out. So I begin to learn the things she does. She doesn't fear offering, giving money to somebody, trusting somebody in certain things. And I still had this thing, want to be a father, want to take control and all that stuff. So she helped me. I remember United Pentecostal, they were doing something called, they were training people in Bible school, small, and so I attend, and she always advised me to go. So I would go there with my pastor's wife also. So after I finished, I knew that I've gingered my spirit. But at the end of the day, I still did not believe in being a pastor because I hated those things. I didn't want to be a pastor because they had responsibilities. But I had another job, and I had a music called Abbeam. I came on it, and then I was getting mad. That thing that told me I'll get a job, told me, get out of the job. All your CDs you have done, and at that time I had bought, a fridge and a TV as a young man, bought a few things, and I was now building my life. He said, go and give all. I said, what is this? My head will be paining me. So I had to give everything out, and I had a little shop, so I stopped everything. And from there, I started praying gradually. So I began to help people, the youth who are not working and everything. I brought them up. We started praying and all that stuff.
To the church, or you
trained? As a church.
As a church.
And then I moved out of the place, went to where my auntie used to be at Labone, down Conseco. There, I realized that no, there's a calling. I went to my spiritual father. He said, I told you, do something. So we started God Solution Center. And there, I met a woman, because I didn't have any family in London. I met a woman there, and I remember he said to me, I want to help you. What do you want? To hire a place for you. Because when I pray for people, I don't collect anything from them. Especially, I remember we did a church for almost about 2 years, no offering. It was just prayer. Every night we were praying, no offering. And they come to me and said, Pastor, are you okay? Because you are fasting. Because I was afraid of taking church money. That was my fear. So they gathered and said, no, this pastor, something is wrong. We need to start giving him money. We need to hire a place for him because he's doing what? There was a lot of people coming, and I was a person that I like to go to ministers, go to kings and talk to them, how slim I am. If I hear that voice that used to talk to me, I would just go that this is what I hear. If you don't believe in God, I understand you, but I want you to hear that I heard this, please do something about it. And it was working, but I didn't like the way prophets here they were doing. So I distinct myself, because I was taught the Bible. So I distinct myself, say, no, I don't want to do those things they do. So eventually this woman one day called me, I want to hire a place for you. Would you like that? Or taking it to abroad? Which one do you want? I said, I don't want any. He said, no. I have asked some pastor, a friend. He wants it. I've hired a place for him. You don't want it. I said, no, I don't want it. So he made a decision. He said, I'm going to make a decision. At that time, I had a secretary. Because I believe a church without administration is not a good church. So although I didn't go to school, I believe...
So this is still the Pentecost church, right?
No, it's God Solution Center.
Oh, this is God Solution Center.
Yeah.
And this is the Ghana branch, because you have one in the UK now.
Yes.
Let me fast forward it, because you see your educational background is not very, up to JSS.
At all.
Yeah. But now you have your tertiary institution, and you probably affiliate to everywhere. When did that dream come, and how did you realize it?
I have realized that any door that closes before you, you don't have to fight over that door. You must be able to overtake the door. When school was not opening for me, I said to myself, then I have to do something bigger than the school. Most of the people, they give up because something didn't work. And I realized that many people who have made it in life, they will fall somewhere, and then before they realize, they come from another side. So I decided to, dive into, if I was not able to go to school, there are certain people who were not able to do so as me. So will I allow certain people who are also coming to come and go through the same thing I went through. No, it's not so. And now it came to a time that I've got knowledge. I've received so much knowledge. I am talking to doctors and professors and meeting, ministers and presidents, and so I saw a different world, and I realized that no, in Ghana, to be honest with you, there is a system we have. A lot of people talk about there's no job and there's no this and there's a lot of job here, but it's just like we want to be paid before we work. Instead of working before you are paid, serving before you'll be served. It's not there. So there are businesses that I really wanted to actually achieve in this country, although we have achieved a lot in UK. So I said to myself, no, the best thing to do is looking at those people who came from England, those people that came to colonize us. They came with the Bible, they came with book, and they were able to do so in a bad way, whether it's good way, anybody can take it that way. But in another way, they were able to. I wanted to use the word brainwash. But somebody can take it like they modify as well.
No,
but there was already a kingdom here, So I realized book and pen is a very powerful tool. So if I want to build up my, an empire, or to build up a great governance in my country, Ghana, the first thing I need to look at is education. And I also look at many people coming from London, going to London. One of my wife's sister finished Legon, and when she came there, they said to her, "Okay, you have your masters, but we don't want it. You have to. It's not equivalent to
what we have here.
What we have. So you have to school again." And several people, I saw a lot of people having that problem. I said, "Okay, if these people are trying to do that, and they come to the country as well, and they collect loads of money, why can't I have a link with them for them to help me to establish a university, to help those people who come to the university
do a course,
build them up, their skills and everything, and also use them in the businesses that we have set up, so that they become us, having knowledge as well." So that is what made me to do that tertiary institution.
But again, driving here, your institution is in the middle of nowhere. And then I'm asking, what's attendance like? Is it going to affect you? Is anybody going to drive here and come and study? What's?
It wouldn't affect us at all. Every visionary, when a carpenter see a wood, he can see a bed, you can see a chair. I believe that we serve Almighty God, who is a dreamer, who is a creator. He created out of nothing. So if you are seriously a creator, if every person decide to do what I am doing here, or what my team is doing here, this place will be awesome. But if you go to London, Accra, you can see Accra is choked. You understand? And mostly if you want to school, it is not in Accra. In London, it is outskirts. And then the town come and meet it. And then they move again. Because if you are in Accra, it's choked and there's so much noise and stuff. The environment itself is not conducive. So I thought, this is the best thing, to be in outskirts. And you know what? When you were coming, you went to Kaswa and you came back to Accra. Where we are is Accra.
I see.
Yes. The toll is just here. So you realize that in this vicinity, many people have not located and realized that this place is Accra. So people have built around and we are in the center. So for a little time to come, you'll be shocked that this place will boom.
Built up.
Okay. So, we look at building the nation, not looking at how much you get. Although I'm a businessman, I believe that building a human being is the most great business in the whole wide world, because you don't build a product. Any product that is not accepted by the people, I'm telling you, it will flop. So I focus on building to let people also love the way it is. I mean, when you're coming from that place, as soon as you get to this place, I think I'm interviewing you now. How do you feel?
And you can spot it a mile away because of the colors and everything. The other thing I'm trying to find is it's a technical institution. Yeah. So is that where your focus is, rather than humanities?
It's every subject that you want to do in this school, you will do.
Okay.
So it's not just only that sort of technical. We do every subject in terms of if you want to do law and languages, if you want to do media, if you want to do you name it. We have the brochure, a lot of stuff, there. So I'm telling you, any subject you want to do, we have it. It's all about you coming here at Abbeam to see what we do there. And the good thing is that most of the universities doesn't have businesses that when you finish, you go. They are teamed up with some businesses, and those businesses make decisions.
So you almost guarantee the job if you.
That's the thing. As long as you work your head up, and you see, the good thing is that when you school in Abbeam, your last semester, we can take you to abroad to go and school there. And also there is opportunity for you to travel in terms of. When you are here and you want to go to abroad, because the great school is travel and see. So we organize travel and tour for each and everyone to go. Even now, as I came to Ghana, we are going with about 8 people to London for just a show. So and every time we do,
Okay.
This year I took almost about 50 people, to London. And it's not like the way you go through, all these things, because we have what it takes, So going there to see what is there and come back to build your nation.
I think that's an attraction on its own. And I'm sure if you're listening at home, make sure if you have a passport, if you have one, come and get it there.
Even if you don't have it, you can come and we'll show you how to go through to get your passport as a citizen of Ghana.
It's been wonderful. It's been intriguing, and I wanted to hear the story, and I'm sure it's inspired you out there at home, knowing that no matter the challenges, and if one door is shut, forget about that door. Find the others that are open and probably build a bigger door for the next person.
Thank you, Nana.
It's been a privilege.
Thank you, Nana.
And I hope to come back again and see what happens when the area develops.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, it's been Personality Profile, and as we always do, we talk to somebody who has an inspiring story. My name is Nana Ansakwa, and until next Friday that I come to you with another personality, have a beautiful week.